I only was able to eliminate like 10 pieces of paper. However, everything is in clips
I
by,
did the same, but I left all of it in the office. I figured you guys were gonna go through the weeds and not go supporting documents.
yeah, I thought I was gonna be able to get rid of a lot more paper, but I was not.
I got rid of quite a bit.
I had some duplicates.
Okay.
I was gonna be late, a little bit. Oh, if you're really.
I know. Oh, I didn't stop at the offices or anything.
Oh, I don't know, I didn't check. I wanted to tell you. How do you say? Good, thanks.
You brought us some cute stuff as well.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, I was gonna.
That's special.
He gets a laptop corner.
You have to ask who you got the laptop.
I think that's his personal.
Yeah,
Oh, you think?
he's playing Minecraft on it.
But
Did you know you say on the hallway? So.
Yeah, no, this time of year, I always love just looking at the artwork as I walk the hall. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, I just look at it.
Oh, okay. So tonight was the reception.
Just.
What do I do?
What's up?
it's a short meeting tonight, 5:37.
And then, encore.
Oh, really? I thought I was listening at 7 o'clock.
I thought it was only 50 minutes or something. That's it.
What? I would love to have that.
I come from you.
Anytime we are this.
I look forward to it then.
I don't.
Back in my.
Like, you just supposed to go away? I haven't come up the last week of the, came on the show. Did you get it shared?
I did, I saw the whole thing. The kids are so cute,
I know,
accepting their awards, you know?
I got this much of it, 2 seconds of it.
I love seeing them.
I remember
They were
that.
thrilled, you know, they had like, you know, just ear to ear smiles and.
Oh, thank you. But I thought everybody did this.
Not everybody?
But we updated one that you just did.
Yeah, but not everybody updated. It's in.
See, the construction, everywhere.
Then we've been moving a lot of stuff around. We got these new, what do you call it, the shelves, so that the picture books face out.
Oh, yeah.
So while they were doing it, the director said to us at our board meeting the other night, she said, while we were putting those out, we decided to just renovate the whole, you know, move everything around.
I would like to call the finance committee to order, and we will continue our budget discussion. Last Friday, we left off in terms of, we were looking at revenue, where we can increase revenue, and at the same time, where we can reduce costs. So we'll continue from, where we left off in terms of, going through the revenue, or we go through the costs. I sent an email out, over the weekend in terms of, us submitting our, proposal. I hope that, you did that, and you were able to, get a revised, schedule. So I will open for the discussion.
Mayor,
Please.
I just want to point out the fact that, I sent an email to, I think all of us, it's all of us, Mr. Kukuma, requesting, how much it would be to take us, to not exceed the tax cap. And so he said to the email 5.2,
I think it's 5.3.
but 5.2 million. And a little bit over that, but not over.
5.231.
Thank you.
And that number is to align with, the lower tax cap?
Well, it's the tax cap.
Tax cap, okay. Do we have a printout of that email?
I sent it.
Yes, you did. I was just asking you that.
Just the number, what
Just
you write down, that's all, that was all that you made, to the number.
The tax cap for everything and maybe 11,939.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Oh, this is just an email, I don't know if that's an account.
She sent it today. I actually saw it today.
You can do that, and it's, or, the name of the, one of the copies, the site, the site.
So based on the sheet that we received last Friday, the updated sheet from the Commissioner of Finance, myself, Mr. Farley, and Mr. Williams are the only one that is close to 5 million or just over $5 million in terms of looking at the numbers that we received from the Commissioner today, $5.2 million of the tax to stay that tax gap. So I will open discussion in terms of your numbers and what do we do from here if we are to achieve that number of $5.2 million.
There.
So please.
So I did adjust my numbers, however, maybe we did not have time from the time I sent the email. To adjust it into the document that we presented to us on Friday. So essentially, it's very close to the number that, the Alexa, the units for the Darwin and, Mr. Williams, I believe, and I think that we're waiting for some more recommendations from Ms. Temper.
Yeah, I'm not, I had mine originally and I'll just wait to see how it goes from in our discussion tonight.
So based on my discussion just a moment ago in terms of looking at what you have currently based on the last revenue sheet, and if you have any adjustment, let us discuss it, let's include it, and then we'll ask the commissioner to update another sheet for us, including your recommendation and any other recommendation that we may have. And then we can discuss. So at this point in time, I just ask for any additional recommendation.
It's not a just a recommendation, but I do want to point out that we got the email today. We were talking about the budget program and we turned it out, let's put it in the revenue line, not the government planning bill, but we all got the email today that they're on sign, right? Favorites? Oh, sweet. I said to you. And I said, so that's a good thing.
Awesome.
Thank you. So again, I'm really cautious with these revenue totals or figures that everyone's putting out there. I would personally like to know if we could get the department heads to come in and speak to us again on what these additional revenues we're putting in, will have, what kind of effect they'll have on their budget, on their office. Pardon me? Oh, I do that all the time. Because, you know, I know Ms. Carver she was very comfortable with $3 million worth of house sales. So if we go up to 4.5, I really want to hear from each department head and see if these figures are way above what they should be. I think that's imperative. At this point, I mean, we're just raising numbers, raising revenue up, of our thoughts, maybe a little bit of what we've heard, but we've had one, department head here from finance doesn't think that thinks the uncollected taxes should not be reduced or, and then also, Ms. Carver said that she's comfortable with the 3 million, not the 4.5. I'm honestly, I'm really happy to hear, I did not see that email, that 2.3, and that's what is projected, right across, that'll probably be coming in, which is amazing. Again, first year we want to stick with that, second year, of course, we want to maybe take in, people challenging that in court, but again, I just think that there are numbers that we can't put out there unless the department head thinks that they're, manageable in their department.
Well, please,
So,
please, because I'm looking at my.
no, all good. So I think, I agree with Mr. Turrell's point. I think we all kind of, there's consensus around like being as cautious as we can. I will only speak for myself, and any of the projections that I was given, was based on the information that we are getting from the department heads, as well as looking at current trends in the market and additional data when we were asking questions for when they were here. So that's what I wasn't making any projections, based on just my own thoughts and opinions. They were really informed by all the information that we got. And if anyone, has questions around like how I got to that number, any of my numbers, I'd be willing to have that conversation to make sure that we're all on the same page, because maybe, we could have missed something, so.
Just let them know. The finance commissioner told us 5.2 million. Mr. Farley has 5.2 million. You've somebody correct you before on this?
What's that? Hey, man, listen.
You're like right from the back.
Hey.
5.247. This person came in at 5.2.
Yeah, he told me he just wanted to let me look smart today, and I appreciate it. Yeah. Hard job, but he did great.
Yeah. You have it.
Well, I agree that I think we have to be cautious with our revenue projections. So, and I also think it would be a good idea to have, to hear from the department heads again. I do, obviously, the two that we discussed related to the CDBG, I completely, those numbers were pretty much given to us. So, I think that from Ms. Carver the other day, so those I agree with.
So we heard from the police department in terms of the revenue. We heard from
Right.
development. And who else we heard from? Finance. So who else is missing?
Yeah.
GS? No.
But I think, in other words, I support the CDBG ones here on this revenue.
Everybody.
For sure. Yeah, that's what I'm
Every one
saying.
of us support, because that is revenue that came in because
Right.
of our discussion with the thing. So it's not a matter of us supporting or not, it's money that is
Okay.
set aside to use there.
Answering.
So that's a done deal across the board.
Thank you. So we think it's a done deal across the board. In speaking with some department heads, they think there might be some invoices that were missed. We're still not done with 2025. There's some demolition costs that may be able to go against these things. So I would like, again, to talk to Ms. Carver, to have her come in and look at those numbers again for us.
May I correct that?
Yes,
The demo is separate from this cost.
yes,
This money can I use for
Right.
demo?
but there's still
And there is money,
122.
there is money on the CDBG for demo purpose
There is,
and lights, yeah.
right, but we're kind of counting that in
But
our,
she did mention that to us when
Right.
she was here.
and I just think that, I would just like her, and again, her office has to be the most confusing office in the world, getting money in, putting money out, making sure it's spent appropriately. I wouldn't want to be our director of development. But again, being that a lot of things happened prior to her, during COVID, and where this money is, I tend to think maybe there's some invoices in there that may have been missed and should have been paid prior to this time. I would just like to hear that from her again. If she's positive, I'm all over it.
Oh, please, go ahead.
I think what Mr. Turtle's highlighting is why it's important to be prepared. And we've been in these discussions for 2+ weeks. And to call back the department heads to recant information that they provided to us in the first 1-2 days, I think is not respective of their time at the beginning. And then of the time that we had our meeting. I would say for myself, I took detailed notes understanding the importance of why capturing the time they have when available is vital to this process. I'd also like to push back, hoping that Mr. Pro isn't implying that we are merely guessing, which is why I was cautioned when speaking for the collective. I can say for myself, taking into consideration what I've heard, what I've seen, not just as a council member, but also as a resident of the city, taking into consideration the comments around the table, I think we have to be actionable. If when we get to the point where we are right now having to make decisions, we vote accordingly, right? We need to continue to put off having to be intentional with our decisions moving forward. I think it's just kicking the can down the road. We have to make a decision this week with consideration to the code. So unfortunately, I know there were open items from our last meeting, one of which was the sales of homes program. I think we are looking for dollars anywhere that we can. Also, I'd like to say is there are mechanisms I imagine in the budget for cautiously replenishing the general fund balance. I think in this year, we have to exhaust any and all mechanisms. I think a tax increase of this magnitude, I think requires us to be intentional. And I'm not pushing back on any of the proposed projections, but in a budget, it's a projection. So it's making a calculated decision and then putting in place options so that we have successful outcomes.
Mr. Mayor. Oh, no, I did,
I'll take it from the mayor.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
City council committee meeting, I always defer to the member of the
No,
council.
I could say it.
But I would want the department heads to go over your assumptions. The budget that I've submitted to you has had department heads going over 4, 5, 6, 7 times and making cuts in what the original assumptions were and what staff telling me some of the assumptions that you're making are incorrect and put us in a more financially precarious position going forward.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with, I just wanted to go back to the homes program again. I'm just seeing where we're at this year, participating in property management, committee meetings. I'm comfortable with that 3 million, piece. And even that might be a little bit higher, but that's the number that I would like us to stay with.
Please.
So we're going to like a particular reason that you, so do you want to please just reiterate the reasoning behind that increase, please?
Well, I mean, a lot of factors in terms of, we saw that based on how many foreclosure we might be able to get next year, 3 sets of foreclosure, and in terms of pending home sales, and also the rise in the house price. So those are my factors why I'm thinking that we can take it there. But I'm flexible to reduce my number. Maybe it can set point where we can be flexible and try to adjust my numbers and bring it up. Not because I have that number there that I'm gonna stick with it, but I think we just need to number that. And it's all trending based on the market, on the sales and the market, and depending sales that we have. I mean, we seem to be discussing back and forth, but I don't think I asked this to kind of stress this point in terms of where we stand in terms of do we want to go over the tax cap, or do we support the 17%, or do we want to see this at the tax cap with a small increase across the board? My stand on this, and I make it very clear, I am not supporting a budget of 17% and a budget over the tax cap. So I don't make my point very clear across the board, so we know where I stand in terms of that. I'm not going to the tax cap, and we need to work our way there. And I support everything you guys. Go ahead, please.
I think that probably none of us want to go over the tax cap, and would all like to be at the tax cap. My question would just be, how are we going to get the 5.23, I think it was, 5.23 million?
That is the 6 of us job.
Yeah, that's
Including you.
right.
To say, okay, if we're not gonna do with the tax cap, then we say, okay, commissioner give us 5.2 million. So we need to look at revenue, we need to look at cost, expenditure section
Right.
and come up with your recommendation.
But I guess what I'm saying is I feel like the expense budget already is, incredibly bare bones.
And that was one of the reasons why
In other words, we might-
I didn't focus more into the expense because I think it's kind of like format. But yet there might be some room for adjustment, but I didn't focus heavy on that. I looked at, can we make adjustment to the revenue? But I'm open to listen and to make adjustment. But if we're saying, as we mentioned, if you're not supporting going over tax cap, then we need to $5.2 million.
I
So
hear
I would recommend that you look toward that $5.2 million because that's what we need. And that's what I was trying to achieve. Yes, my number might be off, but we're here negotiating. And I think we just need to, start a discussion, a meaningful discussion, but that's what I expect. So it's very clear, and we can work towards that. And I'm very flexible to work with St. Patrick Council and me that we can get about it. Because we prolonged last week and into this week, I think we need to be more aggressive, including myself. So that's my position where I stand.
So, I mean, we have to do this, and I will also state that I'm not in favor of going for the tax cap. One of the reasons I asked differently for the number that we needed to, that what it was, that so we didn't see the tax cap. So now we have a number, and, we have to get there. We don't want, there have not been numerous recommendations that have been to reduce any expenditures, because that does seem pretty tight, and, as I understand it, the department had already asked before we got the budget to make sure in terms of the expenditures. So we have focused tremendously on the revenue side. So, and I like to say that we need to get there. So how do we do it? And we have spent a great deal of time, and we have, looked at it, and I will say for myself, I listen to everyone's opinion, certainly listen to what the department heads have to say. And, but a major part of our role is to also look at the budget and to try to get a budget that we, council will be able to move forward, hopefully, with the mayor agreeing to it, and then the mayor being able to implement it. Taking into consideration everyone's saying, we reviewed it over the weekend, looked at where we were in agreement, where we differed, and just made some decisions around it, but sticking with what I really feel is possible within this budget. It's a very difficult budget, there's no question, absolutely, but we still have to pass a budget for 2026, and our goal is November 1st. So we need to keep moving.
Absolutely, we have to keep moving, but as you just said, especially in the expenses, we took the advice of the departments were asked to cut back, give us a very lean budget, but they also gave us the projected revenue. So, again, we have Mr. Ducamon, we had Ms. Carver here giving us their recommended revenue streams for home sales and uncollected. And as far as the chief of police, yes, we all took notes, Mr. Williams, thank you. I'm like taking notes, and Mr. Woodbury and I notes disagreed that time because I had a little different, but again, does Chief Clifford think that these amounts are sustainable? As well as the other, I'm comfortable with the casino and a couple of others, but again, I can't see this money, revenue not coming in, and then where's it come out of? Mr. Gugman?
I think everyone knows the answer to
Yeah.
that at this point.
So,
Right?
let's add to my previous comment, in terms of, we have had the opportunity to listen to various departments. We're fortunate to bring back a few departments and heads to kind of, brief us again in terms of some revenue, and we stick to the PD, we stick to what they recommend. In terms of the numbers and walk us through, that was very helpful. We're still debating the numbers in terms of the home sales. But overall, it's our duty as a council member So we listen to the department head, it's our duty now to deliberate with ourselves. And we need to come up with a way forward in terms of the numbers, either up or down. So bringing them back again, yes, it might help us, but since we have a duty to move forward with our numbers and recommendations to the mayor. So far, I defer to the president.
So, I don't recommend that we bring department heads back. If we need to hear from them, send them an email, let them answer us via email. As it's been said, that is their time that they're taking over. Again, and time is of the essence for all of us. So if there's questions that department heads need to answer, and we'd like them to answer, then I suggest we formulate the questions, send it in an email, get the answers, so we can move more. But continually bringing them back just leads to more of a discussion, as we can see over the past few weeks. And of course, we're gonna have a lot of discussion because of the proposed tax increase. And not just discussion among ourselves, because I, for one, am hearing from residents on a very regular basis. So, we just have to look it up, but I don't recommend maybe call it, having a campaign and have them go over it again. If we have specific questions that we want to answer, we see where we mentioned a couple of places where we agree. I heard the casino. I would say I'm 100% comfortable with the cannabis, even that they're opening more. And actually, I'm comfortable with every other decision that I made. So, if there's more questions that other council members have, that department heads need, they feel that they need input from department heads, I suggest we do that via email.
So just a follow-up question to Ms. Patrick. You mentioned that you would like to see it, the budget with the tax cap. So do you need some more time in terms of?
But I just think it's going to be interesting to find how we can get 5.2.
That's why I sent that email over the weekend. And
Right.
give you a
I mean,
little homework.
I'm sure like everyone else, I mean, we've all
How do
been,
we work on that, identifying costs, identifying revenue? And I think we looked at the larger revenue. I mean, we didn't look at the smaller revenue. I don't know if you want to look at that. It's a lot of work. I mean, every $10,000 from every line will make a difference. I'm just making a suggestion. Because we only look at the big ticket item.
you're saying, look at the expenses.
No, the revenue across.
Thank you. So, and just looking at the revenue, I am not one to cut positions at all, but I believe we'd have to cut, if any of you are interested in cutting at least 50 jobs, positions in our budget in order to save $5.2 million. So, and I'm not interested in doing any of that.
Either.
Right.
I don't think anybody ever discussed
Well,
cutting positions.
Mr. Farley, no need to laugh, but how will we,
Because
how will we get there?
where did that come from? That's how I was laughing
No,
at that.
because we're discussing the revenue now, trying to put, I don't want to say false numbers in, but inflated numbers in. And the department heads have cut and cut and cut. So we believe them in their expenses, but yet we don't believe them in their revenue. And I don't want the tax cap. I don't want to go over the tax cap at all. I think it's a very difficult process right now on how we're going to deliberate and come to this conclusion where the tax rate, the tax increase isn't what it is, but maybe it could be a little lower. I'd like it under the tax cap. But again, I don't want to set us up for failure coming next year's budget again.
So how do you, what recommendation would you suggest
Well,
to bring it under the tax cap? What, in terms of,
under the tax cap.
in terms of revenue, in terms of costs?
I'm not in favor of cutting jobs. I'm in favor of the tax increase, the salary increases that we had. Maybe sometimes we should look at healthcare, the benefits that are out there. I mean, we have Mr. Williams, you're an expertise in healthcare management. Do you see any equitable and fair ways that we could help with those healthcare costs? I mean, that's huge, but nothing's come out about that. I know a lot of government agencies and private industry are cutting back on healthcare to keep their salaries individual salaries where they are, but yet healthcare is just,
So if I may answer that.
Yes.
So we heard from the Commissioner of Finance in terms of healthcare. Are you suggesting that we should relook, we should go back to healthcare and have the Commissioner walk us through the performance estimates
We have that brochure that
Yeah.
he gave us.
And if you are suggesting that we should look at that deeply, I'm open to that too. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm here for. I mean, healthcare, yes, we didn't touch on it, but if you're suggesting that we do that, well, then we had an opportunity to listen to the commissioner as to the reason why that is going up. We have a document,
Right.
a folder here as to why.
Mhm.
So I think, that is something that, we can revisit if you are strong, you know,
I think we need to.
if you strongly want to look at that, yes, we can. But,
Want to do it now?
yes, we can.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yes. We can, oh, sorry.
I was going to finish up the open revenue lines. During our last meeting, I highlighted the areas where there was consensus. And to the continued point of what are we doing, I think without having these in-depth conversations, I see pockets of money that were identified that weren't previously highlighted. This is a credit of the work that we've been doing, the credit of having a collective dialogue with the council and collaboration with the city. There's nothing wrong with that. But it appears that you are more hesitant to proceed with these. I can respect that, and it seems as though you're leaning towards not being in support of it. I would respectfully ask that you allow the conversations to continue so that we can find a consensus, because what we've done in the last 30 minutes is talk about how what we're going to do is going to impact the city without talking about it. So I'd say for the last 45 minutes we have, I would respectfully ask that we finish up the open items of revenue, and then we can go down the other conversation points for the interest of the topics that were discussed. But sincerely, from last time we met, we did not find a consensus around the following lines. It was Alpha 8A1002,
A1611002. Oh, yeah, I'm collecting.
There was
What's the next one, Charles?
2610.
Was there one in between 1002 and M, Carl?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking.
No, okay.
A2660A. I think we all agree, Mr. Farley provided a good vision of, his rescinding his all fund recommendation. We also had to address still A3005. And we still did not have any conversations about the last one, A59999, which is identifying whether we're going to make any further recommendations of use of the FinDom. So if we can finish up with these 5 lines, then I would hopefully be in agreement with readdressing any other areas of concern for the team.
Let me take one moment to kind of give it back to you. So just one clarification. So are you in support of not overriding the tax cap?
Yes, I was putting that.
So I want clarification. So I heard from Ms. Patrick, you're not in favor of overriding the tax cap. I am of the same opinion, we should not override the tax cap. Mr. Toro is of the opinion that you're not overriding the tax cap. It's for the field. Not putting you on the spot, but
I mean, I presented my numbers that said we don't have to, I mean, if anybody could be clear about that, it should be me. My numbers
yeah,
say.
I should do that.
No, you set me up for a win there. Thank you,
Yeah.
keep it up.
Mr. William, not putting you on the spot, what is your position in terms of the tax cap?
I'm in support of overriding.
Not, so this is unanimous. All 6 of us are saying we do not want to override the tax cap. So now is our job. This is what I like. Now is our job to work our way towards the 5.2 million. So Mr. Williams, back to you. Thank you.
We'll start the first line, which is A1002. With the glaring differences.
I made my point very clear last week, on that, but I'm flexible, so that's my numbers, if I can, meet somewhere, but I'm flexible in terms of that.
Sorry, you can leave that.
So,
1002. That's what we're-
I'll start, Mr. Mayor. So originally on Friday, I did not increase, A1002, the total collected, taxes,
Hmm.
and I did change my number
Oh, okay, can you,
to increase it by, 220,000, which was your recommendation.
I'm sorry, 220,000?
A102, the uncollected.
Wasn't that what you had?
Oh, you did, yes, we have notes on that.
Okay, oh, you have it.
So you're lying with, all of us, yes. But we don't have the updated sheet, but we just have notes on it.
I gave you the wrong number. I gave you the wrong number.
So that is for the parking,
Yeah, I gave you the wrong number.
prime parking, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we're talking about line, the second line.
This is the
Yeah.
allowance for
And I
uncollected
gave-
taxes.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were saying.
Allowance for uncollected tax.
Okay, so I gave you the wrong number. So I said that for that one to, decrease it by, 800,000. So before there was some decrease for me.
So you're asking that to go to 2,050,000?
Wow. My notes.
So,
So,
then you can continue if you want.
Okay. For A2610 B, the parking fines, that's where I agreed the 220,000. Last week I did not make it whatsoever.
Okay,
A2610 M, of the Lisbon parking fines, my increase was 170,000 to bring it to a total of 340,000.
how much are you doing? You have it here as 130. You want to bring that up to how much?
It's gonna be another 40,000.
70?
And then A2610, and like Nancy, I will agree with the majority to bring it up another $200,000. To bring it to $600,000. And A2660A, sale of homes. The increase was for me was for the million to bring it up to 3 million. Excuse me, to bring it up to 4 million,
So you're asking for sale of 1 million?
to bring it up to 4 million.
Okay.
Mortgage tax, let's see. The mortgage tax, to also increase that by, which is A3005. To increase that by 450,000.
You're adding 450 to that line?
Right. And I think, the only thing that, that's different than was we talked about, I'm sorry, A3089H like Henry, the casino license fee. We all discussed this and how much the, county was getting, right?
Yes.
And so we increased it by 60,000.
So that is 4.160 million,
Right.
aligned with the county.
Mm-hmm.
And that line is completed.
And then, let's see. I did, add a line that we discussed, but, and this would actually be for an expenditure side, A1430, the anti-racism training at $15,000.
Commissioner, you making notes? Eric, you making notes for the total? Okay, thank you. Perfect, thank you, thank you. Yep.
And I believe that's all the changes that we have, different than what were on the sheets on Friday.
And,
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, please.
I have a question. It flips to the expenditure side. What is the moving on? We did discuss stipends. So, on A1680, 136 and A5010, 136. The mayor's explanation was for people who were on call 24 hours. And I just want to be clear, if I look at those two lines, I want to make sure that those two lines, don't fall in categories. excuse me, 1680, 136. It's under central data processing.
Yes, this is for chief technology officer.
That's not a person that's on call 24 hours, if you email them that call.
That's absolutely incorrect.
No, I'm asking a question.
Well, I'm telling you, he's on call. The last time we had a major failure here was the bug that went out. This municipality was back up and running in about 90 minutes.
Which is why I'm bringing up the points, because it's on there to take out. So that's why I'm clarifying it should not come out. It's
So,
on there to take out.
Or certain, somebody, under one.
Okay, so I'm bringing up the point that that person is on call 24/7. So
Can you make note of that in your,
I have it in mind.
okay.
The other one was A5010, 5010, 136. And that to me also looks like a line that should not have been removed. It's under service administration.
I'm sorry, which one is that?
5010, 136.
Okay, one.
There's a stipend
Same stipend.
that was removed.
Oh,
5010, 136, under street administration. It is on page 48. And based on what I'm reading, I do believe that this person, this particular stipend is for people that would have to, if there was some problem with the street, that would be called out. Is that correct, Mayor?
I don't have that, but you know,
I believe that stipend ties into the street department manager.
So is that somebody, if something happens in the street, they would have to call?
I think that's more of a question for a call.
it's, and you have to tell me who's in that slot, whether they qualify for overtime.
I don't know the names of people. I'm just reading what we were given, that somebody asked this week, I want to just make sure that that is, well, actually.
That should be a management position, so they wouldn't qualify for overtime.
So they would qualify for overtime? But are they on call 24/7? That was really the measurement.
So we'll follow, Ms. Michael, can you take note and let's follow up in an email to clarify that? Department head?
So the stipend for A68 should not be removed. Or clearly not.
So just a
sorry.
clarification, so anyone who is on call 24 hours call, the stipend is valid for that position. So if there's any recommendation to remove that, we should reverse it back. Put that in so that we give the commission that information.
All the other stipend.
Us,
That's
okay.
yes.
10M.
The amount that we put on there, if you would be in agreement to the.
And they're ramping up.
Yes.
So they expect to have more, and they're ramping up.
Yes.
So they expect to have more notices going out from the collection agents.
If he thinks these numbers are work. If he thinks these numbers are work. That's it.
the things that they mentioned in terms of the agency and more mailings, that kind of thing. But I just want to make sure that we're not over,
And that's how I adjust my number to that, because based on the conversation we had with them, and you have to give them credit for going after something that it was dormant for years. And, the credit is due towards the department for that. And I think that with them working with the collection agency, I think we can see an upward trend of revenue against that line in the years to come. Because people are getting that notice to pay the outstanding tickets. Whereas in the past, that never used to happen. So by that being said, people are gonna comply to that notice and pay the ticket. So I'm comfortable with that number, and I stated there.
But it looks like the majority has it at a lower
Yeah.
number, so.
Majority have the lower number. I think both of us are there.
I think it was just you and me now that are at the higher number. Oh, no, because Mr. Williams, you just lowered yours, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. And so you went for 340, I'm sorry, I didn't write it down. Okay.
I say, well, obviously we set out, the fund for the other two, lines that I supported based on, I can. That's my recommendation for line A, 2660A to the $4 million. And for line A, 3005, increasing by the recommended amount by Mr. as well.
Sorry, 3005? Is that what you said? I'm trying to write it down.
Increase it by 450,000.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not gonna flow.
Which.
Mr. Mayor, while you stepped out, I wanted to adjust my numbers for the lines of the sales of homes and the mortgage tax to reflect Ms. Porterfield's recommendations.
Of a million? You had 500,000, so you're bringing that to a million?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Farley has 500, I have 1.5. Mr. Victoria, you say you're comfortable with that, per million?
Yeah.
That's the number, so.
home sales.
The sales, home sales, sale of.
Yes.
You're comfortable with the trade,
I'm comfortable with the three.
and Ms.
And Ms. Carver's recommendation.
Ms. Patrick, you're comfortable with the trade?
Yeah, and primarily it's the, seeing what we've done so far this year and where I think that we'll end up this year. I just think it would be a very large, I would be concerned that we wouldn't be able to make, 4 million or 4.5 million. That's why I stayed with the 3 million. We're at, well, I mean, again, these are from October 9th, but we were at, 1.6. Let me just make sure I'm on the right line. Yeah, we were at like 1.6 million on October 9th. So let's say we go to 2, let's say maybe it's, I don't know what it would be now, but that was,
October 6th, you said?
it was October 9th, I believe.
Anita probably didn't do too much, but
Yeah.
someone has to review that number again.
Because we only have November, October, November, December.
Mr. Farley, on that same line, you have 500,000.
Yeah, so, and
Form on that number?
so I guess talking through how I got there was because, I did agree, Mr. Motivarian, with your assessment as far as, with the increase of, property sales and trending in the market. That's why I was, able to increase it, that revenue line, I would say modestly. I'm pretty firm on that. That's why, I didn't make any further changes even throughout, the negotiating at the table, because I just felt like that was one that, I think I was pretty conservative on that, but I think it's one that we're gonna have to be in that line. Are you suggesting that an increase
No,
that line, sir?
no, I just asked you that.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I'm saying, if there's, I feel like this conversation on this line has gotten a little circular, but I definitely, I guess my question is more about the process at this point, like, are we, going to go down each line and maybe identify lines that there is majority council support on each line?
That's what Mr. Williams suggested, and that's what we're doing.
So then we do, right.
So based on the discussion on this line here, I'm willing to bring mine down to a million now, hold that as a million. Because we're discussing this here, and we are trying. So I'm gonna bring that line to a million. And align with,
Mr. Farley?
Mr. Williams, and Ms. Porterfield.
So it'd be 4 million as your total, right?
That's correct. So going on back to Mr. Williams on the line, fines, parking,
2610B, oh, 2610O.
B.
B.
What is the note that we have here? I think we are we in alignment with 220,000 across, or we just have, because this number is actual numbers.
From a formula.
220,000.
Yeah, that's a formula.
Okay, that's what the
Chief
chief discussed, and I follow up with the conversation because I was adding it to 440, but they already accounted for 220,000 in this.
Yeah.
So I backed out the 220, and I just accounted for the 220 that they had added.
Yes.
So that should be marked as complete.
So that's what, so that brings it to 1130, and I'd be happy to go down to that number. I had it at 1.2.
Okay,
So I'd be happy to go down to the 1.130.
and that is based on the information we received from them.
So it's a slight, it's just such a slight.
So it's just $1,000 over their estimates.
There were 5 people on that line, they're doing it for.
Yes.
Yep.
Again, I know you had a follow-up conversation with Chief. I did reach out, but, so he thinks we're gonna be able to get 220.
Yes, based on the analysis, the study that they did.
Because of the 910.
Yes,
Right.
they,
Okay, all right.
the detail and the amount that they're gonna be
that
projecting next
wasn't
year,
included in
versus the
that.
27 this year, we're
Right.
having about close to 50 to next year, but based on that,
Because we had that discussion that night and you reached
Yes.
back out to Chief.
yes, and that's why, yes, I did.
Golden.
Good.
So that's how I kind of factor my number down, to align with them. And as I mentioned, I'm only $1,000 away from them.
Those are real
From-
numbers, real numbers.
What's the Williams you want, right? Do it.
One, two, one.
He's,
Wanna continue your role with it, or? Right, okay?
Maybe,
I think the only
yeah,
items that were still open to identify the compromise around are A 2610. I think the only individual fitting at that $500,000 line are yourself and Ms. Patrick.
Hold on.
And,
mhm.
the last, I think there's a consensus around the mortgage tax.
Right.
So it would be the delinquent parking fines and the appropriate fund balance.
Mhm.
And I would say that provides us extra time to delve into any other topics.
So can we just go for the mortgage tax line? So Ms. Porterfield, you have 450. I have 450. Mr. Farley, 200. Mr. Toro, 100. Ms. Patrick, you have 0 there.
50.
Do you have 50?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
going,
oh,
I was
sorry,
going to a
sorry,
million.
sorry.
I was only going up 50,000. It's
Sorry.
hard to read, it's hard to read it.
Mr. Williams, you had, did you change that, or you have 0?
Yes, no, I changed it to be in line with Ms. Porterfield's recommendation.
Oh, sorry. So that is 450?
Correct.
So I'm happy to go back down to the 950 with the rest of you. But, well, actually, Mr. Ludovic, you were at 1.4, right?
Yes.
So I'm at 1, but then Mr. Farley is at 1.1. Well, actually, okay, so myself, Mr. Toro, Mr. Farley, and Mr. Ludovic were all 1 million or greater, 1 million or greater. Everybody's, this is a good one that we could pretty much probably come to consensus around.
Yeah, that's
We're all pretty close.
I think for that line, I would defer to the wisdom in the room, to President Porterfield and Mr. Williams' number as well.
All right, so, okay, so you're changing a number from 200 to 450?
Correct.
So, Mr. Toro, you're forming that?
Well, I'm firm in the sense that I'd like to know what is driving you to the increase of 450 and everyone else on the mortgage tax. Yes,
So let me just recap.
yes, please do.
We're talking about the home sales, increase in home sales.
Right.
And that will be higher mortgage.
Right,
And every municipality is entitled to that, with a fair share of the mortgage tax.
right. But is that based on the 4.5 million? I mean, was that what?
No, that's not part of the home
Right.
sales.
No, but putting the
This is
mortgage
private, this is
increasing.
overall sale, people
Right.
buying house in the entire city.
Right,
It's something that is set by the state. We're
Right, but
at
your
a percentage.
but again, if you're intending on the sales to go up to 4.5 million from 3, maybe Mayor, help me out with this.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a specific formula on that, the state,
Mhm.
county, city, I doubt probably anybody at this table could explain what that formula is.
So it's more of a trending of the increase in house
House
price.
sales.
As people
House
are,
price,
people
right.
are getting, higher mortgage.
Absolutely,
And based on the percentage that is set by the state, every municipality is entitled to that portion of that.
Ours is 25 cents per $100 of mortgage. Yeah. $200,000, it's got it right, roughly $80 million worth of mortgages. That's 400 housing sales.
And you also, not housing sales, so you also factor in refinance also. Well, hopefully that interest rate is going down next year, hopefully that's what the discussion is. But I think that we're going to do, people start to refinance. And we have seen a trend in people buying houses in the city. It's not something that we are implementing. We're not implementing a new tax. It's something that we are entitled to based on the sale of properties across the city. Not the property that we're selling, but across.
dependent on,
Yes.
the cost of the mortgage that individuals take on their homes in the city. Thank you for that clarification.
So we have 4 at 450, and we have Ms. Titler at 100, and Ms. Patrick at 50. Any movement, or you're forming that?
Let's see.
Again, I'm just,
I
I just don't want to
remind again,
overestimate
and you guys don't remind, I mean, this is a projection.
Right,
We would be happy if we can achieve 100% of this, but this is projection, and we're hoping the city can achieve.
I know,
Fingers crossed,
yes.
and I hope that, things work out the best for the city,
Mhm.
and we can dig ourselves out of this and recover in the years to come.
I guess because that one is based on a formula that, I'm just not familiar with, that is something that is worked out more internally based on that formula. That's why I was trying to be very conservative by only going up by 50.
But you have to also look at the housing trend that is happening in the city
But-
over the last year, to see.
I hear what you're saying. I just
So
get
it's more
nervous
of a
about
trend
even what's
of the
happening
sales.
across the country. I mean, I think we can't really, I just don't want to project based on trends. But I can be flexible on that one. I mean, I think we should continue the rest of the lines, but
What I would encourage you to do, look at the sale, the history of sales on the city of Schenectady over the last year. And those things are available online. And you can see them specifically for Schenectady in terms of each areas. I'm not able to guide you a bit on this one. We're looking at.
Yes.
So we have four of us at 450. And just to at 150.
Okay, so the next.
So which one are we missing? Home sales. So we have, so far, we're still at 5? Or, sorry if I have to ask again.
No, no.
We still form at 5? Or, okay, so let me rephrase this.
Sure.
So the members who are at $1 million, are you forming $1 million? Or are you forming that?
Did you go back up to 2660A or are you still?
No, I'm just going back to the sale of home, because we still have that whole plan.
2660, yeah. Well, Mr. Motivary, my original, number, corresponds and should correspond obviously with the mortgage tax. It should be somewhat driven by that. I think that, so if we're talking about sale of the homes program, again, I think that that was one area that I felt that I was being very conservative in. So that is a line that I would be flexible to move in order to, meet the consensus, of the team. But again, that's strictly based on the fact that there were about 3 lines on here that I felt that I was being very conservative on. And those are the places that I would be willing to move, and that was one of them. So, exactly, let's talk about where other council members are on that line, Mr. Motivary, and why, if you don't mind.
The members who have 0? Is that?
Well, I said earlier that I was basing mine on, where we're at right now, this year and what I think that we'll be able to accomplish even by the end of this year. So that I was trying to be conservative in that one. We're at 1 point, again, October 9th, we're at 1.6 million.
Mr. Wood? Mr. Mayor, so it's
Please.
2660A is what we're talking about, right?
Yes.
So, in terms of that, I didn't have anyone initially, but based on your explanation and the reason that you came up, and how you explained the formula, which is why I was willing to increase that.
It was, sorry, I'm not correcting you, but it's not formula, it was just a matter of a recommendation.
Well, based on what you felt
Yes,
we could
yeah.
achieve,
Yes, but more of a
based on what you felt we could
projection,
achieve.
yes.
Okay,
And,
so that's why I'm changing that.
and Mr. Motivary, you also had, there were, those 2 larger sales that were, still
Yeah,
not out.
one might happen this year,
That one
next
might,
year,
right, that's informed that as well, correct?
maybe into next year, both of them.
Right, which is why I just wanted to bring that up as well.
Again, I based mine on year-to-date at 1.6. Ms. Carver's recommendation, about, home sales, and the, additional million that, say, we might get to bring it to 3 million. I
Four.
3 million in the proposed.
Yes.
I would think that that's what, the mayor's budget proposes with the Schenectady 40 and the possible sale of some Rotterdam property. So I'm very comfortable at the 3 million, very comfortable.
Just wanted to know, we only have 13 minutes.
So let's go back to the one at the top, yeah, collect the taxes and see where we are in terms of that. Across the board.
I can tell you that I
For myself, I'm asked for a reduction of 850. Ms. Porterfield, 800. Mr. Farley, 850. Mr. Williams, you are 850. Mr. Torrey is 0, and Ms. Patrick, you're 0.
I can say on the recommendation from Mr. Guttman, and I think I put out there what my thoughts were, with the economy moving the way it is next year. So people going to come up and pay their taxes, know they might have 2 or 3 years before they'll get foreclosed on, or they're gonna go buy groceries. I don't think that amount should move at all.
If we don't raise taxes, they'll have more money to buy groceries.
And mine was also based on the recommendation of the finance department, because they actually in their recommendation even said that, the 2.85 might be still too low. So that's why I stayed there.
Ms. Porterfield, are you for at 800,000?
Yes.
Yes. So myself, Mr. Farley, and Mr. Williams. Do you want to consider line 8?
I can consider that. I think that that's not too much of a shift. And it's aligning in the direction I'd like to align, moving. So I'm more comfortable with that. So I can definitely do that.
So we are changing our line from the 4 of us, from 850 to 800. I think we have to,
We talked about everything, I think.
yeah, I think we have to, is that time?
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Yeah, so I think that we should, wrap this up as much as possible in like 4 minutes. Get to Mr. Buchanan, whatever he can do while we're upstairs in the council meeting, and then we can come back, give us a break stretch. And
Yeah, I think,
fair.
yeah. But, because we can talk about the fund balance and we'll be back.
Do you have any other changes that you would like to?
I think we've gone through everything except for we haven't all talked about the fund balance, and
I think this is a longer conversation.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just want to make sure we come back to it after council.
On the revenue.
Okay.
So I ask a motion to recess the finance.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll reconvene as soon after the city council meeting.
Excellent. Sam, are we open down?
So we have, Commissioner, we have the, what's the, mentioned in, revision.